Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Frances Drake, and I am here today to talk to you about connecting to self, nature, and the divine. And I am presenting this for Wild Heart Yoga and Wellness Studio in Ashland, New Hampshire. Thank you, Jennifer Morris, for allowing me to do that. I have presented this particular talk a few other places because I'm writing a book. I was in Ireland for a few months last year and started drafting this book, which I hope to finish soon. Um, and the book is what's called a purposeful memoir, and it's going to be called Dancing in the Doorway, A Life's Journey Between Worlds. And when I spoke to Jennifer about doing this class, I talked to her about the kind of overall gist of the book. And I'm doing classes in a bunch of different parts of this memoir, and this is one of them. So what I have next to me here, this image is called the flower of life. And if you look at just the lines that are solid, that image is kind of like one flower with 6 petals and all these circles around it. That is called the seed of life. I'm sorry, yes, the seed of life, and then the flower of life is the lines that are dotted. Here's another image of it that is, you can see in the center there, there's the 6 petals. And then the flower of life is that whole thing. So the reason I use this image, first of all, it's a part of sacred geometry, and it is a symbol of who we are as people and how we can connect to ourselves and to the world. And my book is related to that because if you look at this flower in the middle here, has 6 petals, and each of these petals have something to do with our lives. So my background is that I am a psychologist. I am also an ordained minister, and I have taught yoga and meditation for many, many years. So I'm going to incorporate all of those things into this talk about connecting to self, nature, and the divine. But what I want you to look at first are just these 6 flowers, these 6 petals. And if we're thinking about this spot right in the center here, that is you, the center of your heart, or what we'll be calling self as we're talking about this image, this flower of life image. So if we go up from the heart to here, we're moving toward the crown chakra, the top of our head, also our connection to the divine. So this petal here is between you and the divine, or God, or the universe, or the ground of being, whatever you might call that. From here at the heart center down to here to the base chakra, we could say this is from our heart down to the earth. So these are the two, I'm making it into a figure 8 here, to an infinity symbol. This is what we're going to be working with today in this meditation and talk about how do we go from our heart up to our highest consciousness and into the divine, and from our heart down into the center of the earth, or the mother Gaia. And how does that help us stay balanced? So I'm going to tell you what these other petals stand for. And as a therapist and a minister and someone who's had lots of experience in otherworldly kinds of matters, what I found is that for people trying to make progress for themselves in consciousness, in balance, in harmony, there are things that keep us out of balance. So if you think about these petals as kind of like, if they're all flat and stable and balanced, then we can go to the center and not be wobbly. But if some of these aren't taken care of, then we can get wobbly in our life. So if we look down to this one, this would be our history, our young life, our wounding. So as a psychologist, I see lots of people who have unfinished business, let's say, from their early life, wounds that haven't been healed, parts of themselves that they don't understand. So this is kind of the work of the therapy world. How do we look at what has happened to us, heal from it, so that then we can have that part of our life balanced? On this petal up here would be what I call ancestors, guides, and angels. And so these are the helpers of our soul, and having contact with them and support of them, those help us also to remain in balance. Here's the universe, God, the divine. Down here's the earth and our connection to the earth. And then this one is relationship, because as we are in the earth and bodies, a lot of what we learn about is from relationship with our family, intimate relationships with our children, relationships with our colleagues, our bosses, etc. It's a kind of an area where we have a lot of teaching opportunity in this one. So when I do couples counseling or group counseling or helping organizations work out how they're going to have their management work with their staff, that kind of thing, this is the area that I would look at. And then finally, this one has to do with death, dying, and the dead. And that's here because in our culture in particular, we're very death phobic. And I worked in hospice for a decade doing social work and chaplaincy work. And this is the area that keeps us from being free to live now in the moment for fear of what will come. So that's kind of future looking. And also not only our own death, but the death of the people that we love. What does that mean? Do we carry on? How does that all work? And I'm also a person who's had a lot of experience with interactions with people who have passed over. And so that's another area that I talk about. So that's just to give you the idea of what the book is about. And I'm only saying that because in the context of all of this and what we do today, it really does matter that you have those things aligned. If you want to go into the center and falling back into the center of ourselves, get into this grid of the flower of life, which is what, in fact, yoga is all about. You know, the word yoga means union. So all of the yoga classes that we take are meant to get us in union with ourselves and with our higher selves. I teach Kundalini yoga. I've taught meditation for many years, and all of those practices have to do with how do I unite myself with my own soul, with the part of me that is then connected to all of creation, God, oneness, the universe, whatever you want to call it. So that's the symbol of the flower of life is here's you, this flower in the center, and at the center of you have access to and connection to all of the rest of creation, both manifest and unmanifest. So that's the overview of what this is all about. We can see in here other symbols. So if we think about in yoga, sometimes people talk about chakras. Those are energy centers in the body. So I said here's the heart and the crown and the base, and in between would be the solar plexus and the I'm trying to think what the other one's called, sacral and base chakra, and then it would be the throat and the third eye chakra going up. So from here to here, you would have all the 7 chakra system. Also on here, you could say, if I drew a line like this and made a triangle, and then another one here, you would have the image that's called the Star of David, which is a triangle going down and a triangle going up. And that is, again, the combination or the meeting point in the heart of the divine or spiritual and matter or the earth. And when we look at this in terms of our psyche, we're looking at the overlap, the harmony of the masculine and the feminine. So in a lot of traditions, we look at the mind as masculine, the heart as feminine. So these two parts of us have to work together in order for us to be in balance. Oftentimes, we're trained to have more or less facility, let's say, with either the masculine or the feminine. And in the Western culture is very masculine driven. Our politics, religion, structures, things that are very structured, decisive, formed. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that if they're out of balance, then we lose the part that is the heart, the intuition, the feeling sense of us. So this meditation is meant to reconnect us with the earth and our feeling nature, as well as the cosmos and our spiritual nature. And when we bring those together in our heart, we have a way to get in, balancing the masculine and feminine, to get into the center of our being, into a state of union with our own soul and with all that is. Why would we want to do that? Because when we remember that we have this other aspect of ourselves, we can live in this world of duality, this world of masculine and feminine, light and dark, good and bad, with a more consistent harmony and balance in our being. And we can learn from what life puts in front of us, rather than being distraught about it or despairing by the things that we see outside of ourselves. That also, of course, helps us with the idea of living and dying, because if we tune into our soul lives at a different vibration on a different level than our body does. And so then we can remember that when our body dies, that's not the end of us. Now, I've heard lots of people say you can't know what happens after death, but I beg to differ because I have had lots of experience with people who have passed over, and also experience of traveling across the threshold into the other worlds where there are where your soul takes over and has an existence there that is informing and supporting the growth of your being as you're here in the earth. So when I was talking to Jennifer about doing this class, she said, oh, is it spiritual? And I was thinking she didn't really think she wanted it to be spiritual, but really everything's spiritual, right? If we think about all the things that we do to stay focused and centered, we're doing that to ground ourselves in our spiritual nature so that we can be balanced in our physical world, in our mental world, in our relationships. So yes, it's spiritual because we're going to go into our heart, into our inner nature. And from there, like all the mystics and saints and meditators and Buddhas and of all time have said, this is a place from which we can understand life and learn from it and grow from it as we move along. So, so yes, it is spiritual and not necessarily religious, although obviously the major religions of the world all talk about these kinds of things in their essence, although they might have different tools and paths and practices to get one there. So what I would like to do is to have us do a meditation with some background from this CD I have of meditations and music by Ram Dass. Ram Dass is a spiritual teacher who actually, this just came out in 2019, but he actually passed away late last year. And I'm going to show this up close so you can see his face, what it looks like on this Ram Dass. Really great meditation CD with his voice and music. And the reason, what I'm going to do is lead you through some things, and I'm going to play a piece of music. I'll play a piece of music for the earth and for the soul and for the divine, and then we can see how all that comes together. I'm also going to teach you a practice called the unity breath. And unity breath is a way to move your consciousness with your breath from the center of your heart down into the earth, sending love to the earth, receiving love from the earth, sending love to the cosmos, to the sky, receiving love back. So, of course, as the Beatles said, love is all you need, and that is true. So having love in your heart, connecting with the part of you that is of the natural world and of the cosmos, that makes our hearts open and balanced and anchored. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I think that's enough information for the moment. Let me just check my list here and see if I forgot to say anything that I wanted to. I think I got everything. So what I'm going to do is lead you through this. I would like you to find a posture and a seating arrangement that feels comfortable to you so that you can, sorry, my speaker's coming on, so that you can be comfortable for, maybe 15 or 20 minutes while we do this meditation. So get yourself in a comfortable position that your body can maintain for a little while. And allow yourself to take a couple of deep breaths. And as you increase your breath, the length of your breath, the depth of your breath, you can also close your eyes and begin to move your center of consciousness from your head, which is where it normally lives for a lot of us, down to the center of your heart. Just allowing your breath to bring all of your attention together in the present moment. Allowing your mind to go quiet and your body to relax. And landing in your heart center, allowing your heart to be soft and open. Maybe finding a point of gratitude that will help your heart to open. Gratitude for being alive, for your health, gratitude for the sunny day, the blue sky, springtime. So many things to be grateful for. And then relax into just being conscious of your breath rising and falling in your body, rising and falling. As we pull our attention together, we come into a state of mindfulness in the present moment, which is really the only moment that we have, the only moment that we have to connect to ourselves, to the earth, to God. That's the moment that we can be in union. So, gathering all of ourselves back to this present moment, watching the breath, and falling slightly inside to a position of observer or witness, watching your body rise and fall. So, now with our quiet mind, our calm heart, a relaxed body, we'll begin a series of breaths, first going down from our heart through the base of the spine and into the earth. So let's begin by exhaling and taking a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale this breath, send love from your heart down through the base of your spine, down into the earth, through the soil and the crust of the earth, into the center of the earth. And let that be connected to your heart, sending love to this beautiful planet. And then as you inhale, draw back the love of the mother, of nature, of Gaia, whatever you call it, back into your heart. And exhaling again down into the earth, the love of your heart for all of the beauty of nature, flowers and trees, the water and the sky. And inhaling the love of the mother, the love of Gaia, the conscious earth, and all that is on it as you breathe it back into your heart. Once again, exhaling love and gratitude into the earth, through the base of the spine, down into the earth, as if you're growing roots like a tree down into the earth. And the taproot of that tree goes right down to the center, sending love and receiving love on the in-breath back to the heart. So let's let this cycle run at the pace of your natural breath for a while. Every exhale, sending love down from the heart through the base of the spine into the earth. And then inhaling the earth's energy and love back into our heart. Just allow that to be carried on your natural breath for a few moments. Continue breathing and seeing your breath go down through the base of your spine like a taproot down into the earth that remains connected to you at all times. And whenever you turn your attention toward it, you can feel that that root is there, solidly planted in the earth, exchanging love and energy, recognizing ourselves as creatures of the earth, as one with the earth. Now we'll listen to Ram Dass's meditation on nature. So while we continue our breath.
Trees, grasses, water, sun, stars, moon, clouds, rain, all are our friends, are us. Nature embraces us, and we embrace nature. We are nature. We are the trees and the clouds and the waters. When you hug a tree, you're hugging yourself. We are human beings. Human beings are part of nature. When you're seeing the ocean or the lake or the river, you're seeing yourself. Nature is a manifestation of God. And that manifestation is love all the way.
Gathering your attention again with your breath back to your heart center. This time we'll be moving from the heart up through the crown of the head, out into the cosmos. We call the earth the mother. You might call the sky or the cosmos the father. Both of these aspects of the divine are part of us. So let's inhale together. And as we exhale, sending love from our heart out through the top of our head, as far out into the cosmos as you can reach, the center of the universe. And then inhaling love back from the universe into your heart. Exhaling again through the top of your head, out into the universe, sending the stars and the planets, all the galaxies, constellations, love and awe, wonder, and inhaling the love of the cosmos from which we are also made, beings made of stardust, here in the incarnate form, breathing the love of the intelligent universe back into our heart. Letting your heart grow in gratitude and awe of the beauty of the cosmos, of the stars, the moon, the planets, the sun, and inhaling their intelligent love and care for you as a being, spiritual being in the physical form. Allowing this breath to cycle from your heart through your crown out into the cosmos, and inhaling back through your crown down to your heart center again at the pace of your own breath for a few moments. Paying attention to the feeling in your chest, your heart opening. Exhaling love up through the crown of your head, feeling any pressure or tingling or vibration there as you send out a beam of love into the cosmos, and breathing in back through the crown of your head down to your heart, the love that the universe has for you. Allowing the cycling of the breath to create an open channel of communication, of flow of life and love and light, as you remember your connection to the divine. As you receive this meditation by Ram Dass, I am loving awareness.
We have to get out of our minds. Our thinking minds. I'll tell you how I do it. By using a mantra or phrase. I am loving awareness. 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 Ah, I'm loving awareness. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness.
Breathing gently now and allowing your consciousness to come back to your heart. Following the breath and taking note of how you're feeling with this connection into the earth and up into the heavens. And the unity breath, which we'll do a few rounds of, is starting at the heart, exhaling down into the earth, inhaling up from the earth, exhaling up into the cosmos, inhaling down from the cosmos. So follow along with me now, inhaling together and exhaling down into the earth, following that taproot down through the base chakra, base of your spine, inhaling up from the earth to your heart. Exhaling from your heart up into the cosmos through your crown. Inhaling down through your crown back to your heart. Exhaling down into the earth. Inhaling up from the earth. Exhaling up to the heavens. Inhaling back to your heart. Exhaling love into the earth. Inhaling the love of the mother back into your heart. Exhaling up into the cosmos. Inhaling love from the cosmos, from the Father back into your heart. And resting there in your heart center. Feeling the openness of your heart. There might be some pressure vibration in your heart center as you've just given and received love from the mother, from matter, from physical form, the giver of life that is the earth. And as we've exchanged love to the cosmos, of the Father, the divine, the spirit, also part of our form. And these two come together in love to create each of us, loving us as children, beloved ones. We can let our hearts be filled with that love of creation. We can let our hearts be joyful that we have the consciousness to feel both parts of ourselves, both matter and spirit. That we can be spirits living in a material world, centered in our hearts. And staying right there in your heart center, leaning back into yourself. We'll do the last part of the meditation, Ram Dass's meditation called Soul Land.
It's great to be in Soul Land, to identify with your individual soul in the plane of consciousness, which I call Soul Land. Go into Soul Land. The soul is the witness. You witness the whole thing. witnessing your thoughts, witnessing your incarnation. You witness your whole life. So land. You meet other souls. You meet your pod, soul pod, that have been with you infinitely. Soul land, soul land, soul land. When you're in your soul, you'll find a doorway which leads into the Atman. And the Atman contains God, and your soul land, soul land, soul land, soul land, soul land, soul land.
Breathing deeply and coming back to your heart, back in consciousness of your body. Feel the chair under your seat, the floor under your feet. Let yourself gather your consciousness together in the present moment, in this time that we're sharing. Take a few moments to notice how you're feeling. Notice the, the atmosphere of your mind. Notice how your heart center feels. Notice if you're happy. Gather the treasures of these breaths in this meditation, this unity breath, knowing that you can use it any time to come back to a place of centeredness and balance, a place where we can go through the center of the self into soul land, into connection with the great oneness. And you can come back now and open your eyes. I hope that that meditation was calming, brought you some peace and balance, and that you can go back to it and do this breath over and over again. Certainly, you can get the meditations from Ram Dass as well, they're beautiful meditations. And remember that keeping ourselves connected in these two directions allows us to have an experience of spirit in the flesh through which we can go into the heart and into the heart of God or the center of the universe where all things are connected. And when we have that experience of non separation, we have an experience of peace and balance, of joy, connectedness, a place of love where there is no fear. So I wish you blessings on this practice, connecting to self, nature, and the divine. Certainly doing things that connect us with nature, like walking outside or hiking or swimming or anything that connects you with the elements is equally potent in connecting us with nature if we do it consciously. And certainly the practices that we do to connect with the divine, yoga, meditation, prayer, whatever kinds of experiences you do of devotion that connect you with God, with the cosmos, stargazing. Um, those are externalized activities that can also support you in staying connected with yourself as a creation of those two forces of the universe. And also to walk in balance between the feminine earth, nurturing, nourishing, energy and the masculine, fiery, active energy that helps us to stay balanced. So thank you for joining me today. I will have a question and answer session once I stop recording, but I will be doing some other talks on the other parts of this circle at some point. So I hope that you'll stay tuned for that on my Facebook page, Mary Frances Drake. And blessings and peace to you.